Yes. Well, hello. Welcome to another round of Ray's Boom Boom Room. I'm your host, Ray Mancini, here with my ace corner man, cut man, Mike Case. Mike, don't do the wave. And
Good afternoon.
Mike usually gives you,
I do.
yeah.
I'm changing to the Johnny Carson now.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do more of that.
How you do, sir?
Yeah.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Yes.
I would do
that's
that.
Al
And everybody
Pacino.
got very-
Yeah, and Ed McMahon. But you
What
know
Ed
what I'm
McMahon
saying.
used to say. I
He'd
can't
go,
remember.
yes.
Oh,
Or, yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Oh, wise one. Or something like that. Yeah.
And a very special guest today, Ken Haidaris, who we'll get to speak to in a moment. But I just want to speak for a moment. I wasn't here last week. We, at the last moment, I had to leave town on a family emergency. I don't know how many of you, well, most people watch sports and everything. And yeah,
I do.
It was a very heartbreaking thing. I don't know if anybody read or seen on TV. It was all over the news anyway, of this young pitcher from the California Angels, Tyler Skaggs, who passed away at the age of 27. Tyler, I've known Tyler and my son, been friends since they were 7 years old, playing biddy ball basketball at the Santa Monica's Boys and Girls Club. Tyler was a year older and grade ahead of him. Played biddy ball basketball, played Pop Warner football, played baseball. And then when he got drafted out of high school by the California Angels, he was the 40th pick of the first round by the California Angels. He was part of that trade that sent. He went to the D-backs when Dan Herron came to the Angels. He was part of that trade, so it was after his first rookie year.
Wow.
And then he played pitch for the D-backs for a couple years, and then came back on another trade. And such a young man and such great potential. You know, Tyler was 6'4", $185, left-handed pitcher, threw 90, 90,
bring it.
95.
Could bring
but he
it.
got that big deuce, that big breaking curve. And he's the type of kid you'd want your daughter to meet. Just really was just a wonderful young man. And we'd sit and he'd talk and he'd ask me questions about being a professional. And Ray, what's it like to be, when you're in the public and then we go through it. I explained to him, you have an obligation to the fans. You have an obligation to the sports fans, people that watch it. I said, I don't have to tell you, you're a fine young man. Like I said, he's the type of kid you'd want your daughter to meet. Perfect. And I said, you're going to handle yourself, but you're going to go through trials and errors. You're going to make the mistakes. We all do. But you're going to be fine. But your sport, I said, you just got to maintain what you can do. You can only control what you can control. Everything else is going to handle itself. And he'd listen intently and very politely because I'd ramble on. And me, I'm a shy, quiet.
No, you
I'm a
ramble
shy,
on.
That's
No,
it. I'm a
that
shy,
doesn't
quiet guy,
happen.
right? and Tyler would sit there and he'd listen. And I'm thinking, and myself would say, Papa, you went on, but he was so polite. And so when the kid made it and we went and saw him pitch, it was such a wonderful thing to see a kid you knew from who wanted it so bad. This kid could have been a star in any sport, football, basketball, baseball. He played them all. But he stuck with baseball after his sophomore year, because this is the sport he truly loved, and he didn't want to ruin it, when in the sport. Football, he could have been a wideout. He played wideout. He could play quarterback, obviously, because he could throw like crazy. Basketball, he was a forward. He's just a wonderful athlete, but more important, just a wonderful kid. And this is why it's so heartbreaking. And it was worse off is my nephew texted me. He was driving up from North Carolina, and he said, "Hey, this is Leonardo's friend." I said, "Well, what happened?" He said, "Well, he died." And it was like a gut punch. And I checked on him, and sure enough,
How old was he?
27.
Just starting.
Now, my son's, I know he's working, and but I got to call him because I don't want him to get it from anybody else
He's in New York.
in New York. So I called him. And you know what, God, it's God, it ain't by happenstance. My daughter was traveling to Puerto Rico to see her boyfriend, and she stopped in New York, and she had a 6-hour layover. He said, Pop, I'm going to go into the city, see Leo, have lunch, and then I have enough time to get back. If she ain't there, I don't know what happens. I called, and she picks up the phone, and I said, Nina, did Nard know what happened to Tyler? I said, no, Pop, what happened?
Mm.
And I said, Nina, he died. Oh, Pop, don't, and she goes, no, Pop, you don't know. And I said, I got to tell him I am. So my son was there, and he said, she goes, well, she says, it's Pop on the phone. And he said, here, he's got to talk. And I said, Leonardo, did you hear what happened to Tyler? He said, no, what? And I said, Leonardo, he died. My son yelled such a wailing, no, Pop, don't say, it kills me, man. And I can imagine what it was like for my sister to call me. My brother passed.
Yeah.
And I felt that, man. And my son's crying his eyes out on and it's heartbreaking. I hear him, the pain. My daughter grabs the phone, and he runs out, and he's sitting, he's in New York, he's working at a cafe, and he's sitting at the street, and she said, Poppy, I said, just take care of him. And then, it's a blessing because she ain't there. What happens? And she said, Pop, I'm going to get him home. She grabbed him, picked him up, hugged him, and put him in an Uber to bring back to his apartment. If she ain't there, he ain't moving. He can't move. And so he said, Pop, please, you got to get here. You got here. So that's when I had to leave the next morning to get there. And thank God, I'm glad I could. You're there to be for your kids in any way you can, right?
So you went to New York or L.A.?
No, New York.
You went to New York to be with the kids. Okay.
And then two seconds after that, my other son calls me. He's bawling like a baby.
Yeah.
Because he's like the little brother to these guys. And so you get to New York, and so I said I'm going to come up. So I go up to New York the next day, and you just hold each other. You hug, hold them and let them cry. And I explained to them. And the reason I'm just, please, I appreciate you people bearing with me. But this is a time in any type of situation like this. And my son's going to Pop, I don't understand why has this got to happen? Why is that, he just got married in December.
Oh.
Just got married in December. Mm-hmm. Lovely wife. They started a new life together. This kid's got everything. He's got the $1 million contract. He's got everything going on for himself. He's in the prime of his year. He had Tommy John surgery last year to correct it,
which makes him better.
Cuff? Is that rotator cuff?
Well, I think it's an elbow. I think it's
elbow?
an elbow.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
The ligaments.
So he was coming back to shows. He was pitched strong. Pitched Saturday.
Yeah.
Great couple innings. This happened Monday, and you sit there and all you just listen to your kids and all I could tell them was this, and then they left last Thursday. I came home. They went to back to L.A. just to be with their friends, and I said, when you see each other, I said, when you see each other, you're gonna hold each other. You're gonna cry together. You're gonna mourn together. Mm-hmm. You're gonna grieve together. I said, and then eventually you'll start talking about them. And you'll start laughing together. And that's when the healing process starts. I said, but until then, you just mourn. I said, but then eventually, we all got to get up and move on. It ain't easy. There's no time frame. For me, I had to do it fast with my brother. But I could never get on with my life. And I suggest, my son, you take the time you need, but we all have to get on with our life. And I said, if you know Tyler, I said, my son Leonardo, he didn't want to hear it at the time. And I understand maybe it was wrong. I said, Leonardo, Tyler would tell you, hey, get up. You got to move on. Right. You got to get on. You got to go after it. You got to go after it. That's what he was doing, going after his dream. You got to go after it. My son didn't want to hear that at the time, which I understand. Maybe it was the wrong time to say it, but they're back in L.A. They've been together. They had a memorial Saturday. His mother came, Debbie, and his wife came, and I talked to my ex-wife, and she said it best. She said, the wife was Carly. She said, Raymond, she's a young girl. She's heard it. She said, she's mourning. She's devastated, but she can move on, and she'll move on. Debbie, the mother, is destroyed. Mm-hmm. That was her everything. She had one son. She had one child.
And how does she move on now?
And Debbie was a girls' softball coach. I mean, his father was a Daryl, who I got to know, wonderful guy, was a young upcoming baseball in the Angels organization back in the 70s. His mother is a softball coach for Santa Monica High School. She was my daughter's first coach, softball coach. So he's got it in his blood. Well loved, beautiful family. Very well received. Just a great, just like I said, kids you'd want your daughter to meet. Everything going on, and I try to explain to him, go, no, where the good Lord allows these things happen. Takes them. I said, obviously, he called him home for a reason. But you can't, it's hard to explain to people when they're in mourning, when they're hurting. And that was one of the toughest things I ever had to do, to explain to my children. One of their friends, kid was like their brother, is gone. And it's heartbreaking, man. It's truly heartbreaking. And I know, people go through it all the time. Let me just say, if people out there, if this happens, people in your life, people maybe going through it now, there's no set time to mourn. There's no set time to get through it, to grieve. You take the time you need. But I think some people can't get out of it. It's a funk they can't get out of, and they never move on with their lives. And I think it's I don't want to say wasted time. That's not the right word. It's I would say wasted energy. I just think it's the old saying, dying is a part of life. You always hear it, right? Dying is a part of life.
But not at 27 years old.
No. But
And it's funny that your son's in his 20s.
Yeah. He's 28. I mean, they're both 28 now.
And they'll ask why. They don't know why things like this happen. We're over twice their age. We don't know why either.
No.
But we do know in our minds what you have to start to do.
Right.
You have to start take one step, then another step.
Right.
And that's the only thing you can do to get better.
You're absolutely right.
Because you're not going to get better if you don't. You're just going to sit there and wallow because it's awful.
Yeah.
It's an awful, disturbing, terrible thing to happen to somebody and their friends.
And it's just saying, and you just made me think. He's 26. My son's 27. I'll be 28 in November. Tyler's birthday is the 13th of this month, next week.
Saturday.
Well, Saturday.
It's Saturday.
Yeah, that's Saturday.
Come on. Do they know why? Does anyone?
No, they haven't.
And I know they haven't said why.
They haven't released why. And I don't know. I asked my son today, there's a lot of speculation, a lot of this. Let me just tell you, this was a clean living kid. Not a drug addict kid. It was not a druggy kid. It wasn't any of that. The kid was a clean living kid. But it hasn't come out. He had defective heart, some type of heart. I mean, who knows?
Could be.
I mean, you would think.
Look at Lenny Bias.
Yeah, but you think these pros they check these kids, they give them the physicals, right?
Oh, they can't be in better condition.
Yes, and they give you can't have better medical staff
right
than these pro
right
teams.
By you, yeah.
So. I just it's heartbreaking. It's unknown.
So you're sure it's not drugs?
No. I know the kid. Yeah, the kid.
100% sure.
Yes,
because everybody's gonna. So the first thing I say is,
right.
overdose.
But and especially if it's a young kid, and especially if it's a young athlete. No, the kid was not that kid. And that's what I'm saying. He was a stand-up living. He was a stand-up. He was a great role model for the young youth of that era to show that you could reach your dreams. His mother was the baseball coach, the type of kid he was. And a lot of these kids, they won the state championship a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and those kids, they wanted to buy rings for the kids, but the kids, have to pay for it. But a lot of these kids, poor kid, they can't afford it. Tyler went and bought the whole team the rings. But what I'm saying is that type of kid. One of many things he did for charitable things, I think he understood that you have an obligation. He did a lot of charitable things because he knew he has good fortune. And it's just, people, I just asked that you pray for this kid's family and just pray for his soul. I don't know what they're doing. I'm actually, my son, they're actually having a memorial service for him, like a big one, next week. And my son said, Pop, you going to be here? And I said, well, I'm going to try. I said, Pop, you got to be here. And it happens to be, I said, well, let me know when it is, and I'll do everything I can.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's going to be the 22nd, Monday the 22nd. And the fight, I'm doing the pack this Saturday. By the way, I'm doing the fight on FS1 Saturday night from Minneapolis. Great fight I'll talk about. And then next week, I'll be for the Pacquiao Thurman fight in Vegas, which is the 20th.
Which everybody's looking forward to.
And then I'll just fly over next. So it's just unfortunately
That's
I'll be
gonna
up
work
there.
out.
So I'm gonna work out. Yeah, I'll be there. I got to be there for this kid. It's just these type of things you got to be with your kids. You be their families. You got to be there with your kids. And you celebrate. And I told them we'll celebrate his life. I think the mourning's got to be hopefully the grieving. The mourning is
it'll be sad.
Oh, absolutely.
But
but it's a celebration of his life.
Don't you guys think? I don't know. This may just be me. Baseball players are a little bit different. Like you'll never run into a football player after the game at the pizza place across the street from the stadium. But baseball players are there for 3-4 days. And you're never going to go to where somebody in the NBA goes to dinner. You'll never see them. They're in a different stratosphere. But baseball players all hang together. They hang in groups, and they just go to the normal place.
Right.
162 games a year.
And when you see them on TV, you can see they don't have a mask on or a helmet. You can see what they look like.
People.
You know exactly who they are. Some of them don't make that much when they first started because they can't.
Well, what did you say, Mike? They were just talking about
they're just normal guys.
Pizza, talking about the pizza.
We got pizza delivery over here.
Now we're talking.
Thomas,
Is this Sunrise?
Yeah, it's Sunrise
Sunrise is
Pizza.
here.
What do you got, T?
What do you got?
A little bit of everything. I got deep dish. I got cauliflower pizza.
Cauliflower pizza.
Come on over.
Well, we'll try. We'll try.
Would you ever think you'd have crust with
Cauliflower.
cauliflower?
Oh, the crust is
It's
Here in
absolutely
California,
delicious.
the crust is
Absolutely.
made of
Cauliflower.
cauliflower.
It's delicious.
I'm
We
glad
got garlic chicken. We got wings.
Now we just went from a very somber.
I'm sorry.
this is way
I'm
better.
sorry. I
Now
didn't
we
mean
just
to.
turned into a fest.
This made it way
Food
better.
fest. Yeah.
What's that one?
You got to hold that up for some cameras or something.
That's
That's
the
the
cauliflower?
cauliflower crusted pizza.
And you know, and I really appreciate. Thank you for your unsolicited commercial.
My nephew
Yes.
Thomas. Hold that box up just so everybody see.
Hold the box up,
90
Thomas.
years, 90
Hold the
years,
box
Ray.
up.
We're
90
celebrating.
years. We sell advertising on those boxes
No,
too.
Thomas,
So
just don't you're right there. The camera's right on you. No,
Lauren's
it's
over there
okay.
laughing.
Just
You got to
go
sell
there.
advertising,
Yeah.
Lauren.
Right.
Fuck.
No, it's all about advertising.
Thomas, thank
Wow.
you. Listen,
Thomas,
who
thanks.
was that for everybody
Now
here?
go get us some plates
Yeah,
and napkins,
yeah.
will you?
We got deep dish pizza.
And drinks.
Who would think there'd be
Yep.
crust made of cauliflower?
And it
Gluten free.
Yeah.
Big diabetic
I want all the
market.
but see, I want all the gluten I can have.
You're gluten tolerant.
That's because you weigh
Very
145
tolerant.
pounds. You're
Yeah.
lucky.
Hey, don't get it
I
on
was
the white.
145 in second grade.
Would your parents ever let you have pizza on this furniture? Would your
Oh
mom and
God,
dad?
no! This is beautiful
It'd
stuff.
be the last thing we'd be allowed to have.
The Greeks would have plastic on it, so
Oh,
you, could
yeah.
you just hose it off, you know,
Right.
and you have a drain in the middle of the living room.
See, that's the beautiful thing about this show. We start off, and then we take a left turn,
Yeah.
and we don't come back.
Well,
We don't. But
this is a
anyhow,
good way to
yeah.
introduce our guest.
You ever have this deep dish pizza? It
Not
weighs
that-
9 pounds.
Oh, it's awesome. We had a deep dish pizza eating contest that one time.
Oh,
Remember
that's
that?
right. Yeah, one kid got
That
sick
poor
in
guy.
the middle of it. Yeah,
was
wasn't
too much.
pretty
It
either.
was too
Remember that?
much.
I forgot about that.
So now that I appreciate you listening. Now we're gonna get to the good part of the show.
I'm
Because-
sorry, I didn't mean to change the
I'm
subject
glad
on
you
you.
did. Glad you did. 'cause I
his
didn't know-
fault.
I did
Thomas, good timing wherever
Tom,
you
yes,
are.
I didn't know how to segue from that, but thank you.
Now we have.
But Ken,
This is the cauliflower one?
Ken,
Yeah, it's
So
cauliflower.
our special guest, Ken Haidaris. Ken, tell me your what is? I don't even know what your official title is. But
I don't know what the official
I know
title
you're
is.
He does so much stuff.
You're the ambassador of Warren. I know that. So or Trumbull County, you should say. But so you're here to talk about. We're talking about Warren's City Walk, right? City. What is that?
You
City
mean,
Walk?
you mean River Rock?
River
Indiana?
Rock.
All
River
sorts
Rock,
of things.
River Rock City
You mean
Walk.
where you were
City-
supposed to be June 22nd?
Yeah, when I was at the top. When I was at the doing a fight,
no, I'm
fight.
busting your balls. It's,
No, I know that.
We can say that, right?
Oh,
It's
that's
a
right.
podcast.
Yeah.
Say whatever you want.
Oh,
Hey, that was good, Kenny.
I said,
Thank
I
you.
don't know if I got any left. They've been busted so much. Anyhow,
All right, let's start with your first business. Let's start with Sunrise Inn.
The Sunrise Inn, 90 years. This
90
year.
years.
Established bootleg joint.
you've been around that minute.
I'm look good, don't
He
I?
looks good.
For,
He looks good.
90 years. I'm like 97. But a lot of olive oil.
Wow.
But 90 years, 1929. Started off during Prohibition. First pizza shop in Warren, Ohio, like 1948.
Oh.
Now, that's a good story. You know, there was no pizza. Everybody thinks pizza was everywhere. But after the war,
Uh-huh.
everybody started bringing this stuff back from Italy and everything.
It's a
got
depression.
pizza.
You know, people said it was depression food.
Peasant food.
That's
Now
all
it's
of it.
gourmet. They're putting
That's what I
duck
said.
and chicken
Well,
and
as
all
I
that
said,
stuff on.
polenta, greens and beans, scuttle beans, all and polenta were depression food.
Yeah.
Cornmeal. You couldn't get it. So you get the cornmeal, you screw it. And if you had a little maybe a little sausage, you put the little sausage on it. If not, you just put the gravy or the sauce and eat it. And people now you're saying $20 in a
Yeah.
restaurant.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's
And
true. It's
greens
gourmet
and beans,
now.
scuttle and
Greens
beans,
and beans.
$20.
Yep.
That's true.
I would have
It's nice to see somebody say scuttle because nobody knows
No.
what that means. You
That's
know?
true.
Beans, you know, and then the scuttle, not to be not to be confused with the little scuttle. Got to have a little scuttle.
That's different.
That's
kind
a
of,
different
little
scuttle.
different kind of green.
Different
Different
type
kind
of green.
Does
You're
your
in
mom?
line.
Does your mom ever say scramats for mozzarella cheese? Scramats.
Scramats?
Yeah. That's what my mom used to call
I
it.
didn't hear that
Well,
one.
no, that's good.
Or kugouts? Did you guys ever
kugouts?
kugouts?
Yeah. But
Oh,
let me tell you,
kugouts. That's
that's
with
like
the
kugouts
eggplant,
today.
right? The
Yeah,
kugouts.
kugouts,
Or
no.
zucchini.
No, zucchini. It's zucchini.
Zucchini? Okay, I
So
thought it was eggplant.
eggplant is melanzani.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Right.
Or the molagna or the melanzani. But that's what it. But yesterday, as Carmela's on up there,
They
on-
got
the
kugouts.
kugouts today.
I know.
I get that's it's a staple. I walk in, Ray, we're gonna give me the old.
I couldn't believe it. I didn't know anybody else had it because sometimes you'd have something in
But
your
you know
family.
what kugouts do? Kugouts is also in Sicilian is a slang for
Pots.
screwy. Yeah.
Right.
If this guy's do say
Yeah,
kugouts.
it's kugouts.
This is kugouts. You know, he says
Got a lot of those, yeah.
You know, and mezabats. These are kugouts. Yeah, you'll be scrambled brains, scrambled eggs, scrambled brains.
When did
Yeah.
your family get into Sunrise Inn?
My dad's been there since well, he's gone, but he was there in '58. So
58.
you know, when you say pop, you know that's what I used to call my dad. So it
See,
bring a little
see,
memories.
people
back.
say, mom say, because my kids are Cuban, so Poppy. So Poppy is what Poppy. So I was Poppy, and then my daughter, Poppy or Papa, since day one. Then my son, my daughter still calls me Papa or Poppy. My son's about the 5th grade. He said, "Poppy, I'm not going to call you Poppy no more."
He's
said,
alerting
He
you.
said, "I can't. No, it's going to be Pop from now on."
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I get it. You know,
What
it's
do you-
like the kids used to give me the kiss on the mouth. Everybody go, still what I still do now. Before I go, Pop, you can't kiss me on the mouth. I go, no, that don't change. That didn't change. You kiss me on the mouth, but now they still do. But it's funny because that was it's about 40 in the Poppy and the Papa. Those things are gone. It's just Pop.
How about people that call their parents by their first name?
Yeah,
I don't
That
get it.
bothers me.
because we want to be friends with
I
our
don't
kids.
wanna.
No, I don't want to be friends with my kids. I'll whip your ass if you get online.
Oh, I got my ass
But-
beat a couple times with the belt, but
man,
I deserved it. You know, I
So that, yeah.
I broke
You
some
whipped your kids.
yardsticks.
People said, "You hit your kids." I said, "Hit them." I whipped their ass, but not like. But I'm teaching them to be young men and women. A young woman to be young men.
Do you spank your daughter? Because I have trouble doing mine, but I do it.
I spanked her.
I shouldn't
but
say
not,
that.
You spank them, but you ain't whacking them. You spank them because you wear them into the butt or something.
Yeah.
No, it's like when kids reach to touch the fire, they get burnt, right? Touch the fire. So you do act out, you get whacked in the ass. Okay, you don't do that no more.
Right.
Thomas, you remember when Papa hit you with the belt once? He couldn't believe it. My dad
Like a
smacked the
real
shit out of
belt?
him.
I used to
Oh,
get-
The belt
in the
off?
Greek, they called zoni. So, my dad was like Zorro. He'd get that belt and
Oh.
whap.
Whoa.
I was jumping
Like
the
Indiana
couch to get
Jones?
the fuck out of the way, you know.
I used to tell my kids, my father told me, grab your ankles. Did you ever get that? Grab your ankles.
Oh,
What?
God.
Oh, yeah.
Grab your ankles.
But that's what's missing out.
And
You
I
know
wha-
that. That's
whacked
what's missing
their ass with
out.
that belt. Oh, yeah.
It's what's missing out. I mean, we had
But you
that
teach
fear
them-
at home, and
you
that's what
te-
was
you
good.
teach- it's love, man. You love your kids. You teach them. When you do wrong, there's consequences. When you do right, you get rewarded. That's life. You can't breathe heavy on your kid. Don't talk too loud at your kid. That's actually in school. Teachers are starting to get they can't touch kids no more. So the kid can grow up. But even if you can't yell at a kid. Because that's his emotional health. So he's emotionally distraught.
I'd have been at Woodside if that would have been the
Oh,
case.
yeah, no, there's the things.
Remember Woodside? I don't think it's there
Oh,
anymore.
no, yeah, on South
Is
Side.
it?
I'm right there. The South Side.
It's not there no more, right?
No, it's there, but it's not what it
you-
was.
probably something
It's
else. Mm-hmm.
yeah, brought it into something else. And but I was right down the street from me, man. We used to walk by there, going, look, Mike's might be in there. Mike might be in there.
But I was lucky. I got to work with my dad all those years.
Yeah, what was it like growing up in a pizza shop?
Well, it's tough sometimes because we had other stuff too. My dad had car washes, bumper companies. We
Oh,
did a lot
really?
of stuff. Tin Pan Alley, we owned that building over. Remember Tin
Oh,
Pan?
yeah,
We
that was a
owned
great
the building,
joint.
and
Oh,
Eddie
no.
Sam and
So
Tom
the-
Daly,
you-
who
you-
just passed away.
You
They
got to
ran off us.
diversify. You were
Yeah,
diversified.
we were diversified.
There you
Yeah.
go. You
So,
got it.
like, I'd go to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning, and my dad wake me. I was still at home, and he says, "Hey, what time did you go to bed?" I was like 2, and it was like 6. He says, "You got 4 hours. There's plenty of sleep. Come on, we got to go do some work." I says, "Okay." So we had the car wash over on Belmont Avenue, the Circus Car Wash. I don't know, a long time ago, by I think where Walmart is now. But it was great because it was tough because he'd criticize you, take it personally. But it's a bond that I can't even tell you. It was the best. And let me tell you something.
Just you two? Or were there
Well, no,
others?
my Uncle Angelo too. My Uncle Ange was a great teacher,
Uh-huh.
and I was lucky because that the streets are the best teacher. I
Best
went
teacher,
to school,
absolutely.
and school's okay, but hell, I went to
School's
school.
okay, kids.
Don't get me wrong.
I got a master's
I mean,
in
it's
life.
all right.
You know
I
what?
got a master's in life.
Yeah,
Doctorate in life.
and I wouldn't
And
trade
think-
it for nothing. Nothing.
But when you said that, because I used to tell my kids, I said, look, I said, you ain't gonna understand now, Bobby. Why'd you spank me? Why'd you hit me? I said, or what? I said, you ain't gonna understand it now, but in a few years from now you will, or when you have your own kids, you will. And now that they're older, they say about that, Pop. Now I know what you meant. I used to say things my father used to say to me all the time, sayings that my kids say. I repeat. Now my kids are saying them, but it's the truth, you know. But it's the truth. You don't. Kids ain't gonna understand. I tell you, but you tell them, I did it because I love you, and this is why I had to spank you. This is why you had to be punished. This is why. It isn't like, you know. And then they got it. They get it. So they understood. I told them, take shots in life. Take a shot. You gotta take a shot.
Hey, that's what
You
it
gotta take
is.
shots. We all take a shot. If you think you can get over on me, take the shot. But you ain't. So once you get caught, once you got to pay the consequences. There's consequences for everything in life. We all do. And and so, you know, that's what happened. And so, but that's like they get it now. They understand it now as a young man.
And you were close to your dad too.
yeah.
And there was nothing like it, was there?
Oh no, man.
No, it's true.
I understood it. I mean, I understand, but you know.
And I think that's what's missing now in society is you don't have that close family unit.
well, you know,
and I think that's where our problems are. I think there's a breakdown. You know, that's just you know.
Did
not
your
a-
dad do you think every business was on the up and up? Do you think you ever had any illegal stuff going on?
No,
and stuff?
no, he was good.
All
He
right,
really
very
was.
good.
He was like we had like my dad started the Wayside restaurant out in Champion. We had the Sunrise and the Wayside. And I says, hey, are we paying the health inspector? He goes, no, I eat here every day. The place is going to be clean because of customers. I was a kid. What did I know? You know, I was like, whatever, 11, 12 years old, you know. So I really wonder because everybody used to talk about paying everybody out. But no, he says, no, we got to be clean. Customers come here. You eat here every day. We're not doing that. So it was interesting, you know.
Well, but it's funny. But look, you know as well as I do. You know, every place, everybody's got their hands in the till. I love when people say this about Youngstown. I'm sure about some kind of. It was better when the mob ran it. I said, no shit, no shit. Was it better when they had their hand in your father's pocket or your grandfather's pocket? They go, what? It was better because your grandfather got to pay the vig every week, no matter what. If he sells
Whether
anything
it's
or not,
good or
he's
bad.
got to pay the vig.
The VIG's the VIG.
And they go, what do you mean? I said, he's got to pay the vig. So if you got to pay the, you know, you got to pay the interest no matter what. You don't sell $2.50 of anything, you're still paying it. That better for you? Better for because if they got your hand in your grandfather's pocket or your father's pocket, how's that better for you? Or if they were my father's pocket, how's that better? No, it ain't better. All it was better is that you weren't gonna get robbed. And but if you couldn't pay the vig, you might get your place blown up.
Yeah.
You collect the
Which one
insurance.
you like?
That's it. So that's I said. This is the thing. I have when people say, "Oh, it's better when." No. It's better when the mom and pop stores were run like mom and pop run them. I said, if you're doing big business, well, that's part of doing big business. I get that. But don't say it was better when no, man, it ain't that none's better. Better is when you control your own destiny. That's what's better.
That's right.
And so, anyhow, but look, you know, that's all.
So why of all those businesses is this one still around and some of the other ones are not?
Well, you know, time is the most valuable thing we have as we get
That's for
older.
sure.
So you
That's
have to
for sure.
pick out what is most prosperous, most valuable, what means the most to you.
Mm-hmm.
And the Sunrise 90 years is a tradition. When people come into town, they talk about coming to, I don't know, Youngstown. Maybe they go to Wedgwood or whatever.
Sure.
But hot dog shop,
Hot dog shop in
Sunrise Inn, that kind of thing. So I'm kind of proud that people still think of that. You know what I
course.
mean? So it's very, there's a lot of emotions. You know, we're very proud and we want to make it good. And we want to make sure now we have a next generation. I don't know if my nephew's still here or not, but that's the
There he
next
is.
generation. I'm the old guy now, you know.
Yeah.
Where my dad was young. Now I'm the old guy.
What's your name again?
Thomas.
Thomas, we're boring you over here, right?
And he's trying to start a sports blog.
Thomas saying, "Oh man,
no,
I got to
he thinks this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. But old things are. But so no, it's very special to our family.
Yeah, of
you know,
course.
my dad and my uncle, we worked together. There was nothing like
No,
it.
not like when you have family working there.
Yeah.
And I used to tell people, say, if you're ever going to start a business, don't do it with your family. Whereas people, I said, who else you going to do it with?
Who do you trust more?
Who's more? You
And my
do-
uncle and
I
dad were
never
incredible
understood that.
guys.
You don't do business with your family. You don't loan money to family. Who do you loan it to?
Yeah.
Strangers?
And
You
they were
want-
brothers?
You
They're
want to do it with
brothers.
your family. You
And-
got to do it with your
and-
family.
And my dad, like back in the day, we used to we cash $100,000 in payroll checks a day sometimes because the mills. They know
That's
with
right,
checks
that's
now
right.
because direct deposit and all that shit. But so my uncle would run the kitchen, my dad run the bar, and we'd be cashing checks.
Yeah.
Packard Electric,
right.
Ohio
That's
Edison,
the
Republic
best.
Steel. And you know, don't get me wrong, every family has their problems. But you know, at the end of the day, we were still family. You know,
Family,
you
man.
have your Christmas,
Look.
you have all that, and that's wonderful. So I wouldn't trade any of them. My cousin Dino,
Thomas
you know,
is-
it's
Thomas
all
in
good.
the king's chair. He's
Yeah, sit in the
chair.
king's
Nice.
chair over there.
Like King Farouk over there. Look at him. Like, hey, man, it ain't bad.
It's nice to
ain't-
have the next generation. You know
Of
what I mean?
course. No, there's that.
Yeah.
You go, handsome young kid like this taking over the business. But, and you know what? You work, Thomas, you work at the pizza joint. I'm sure you help
And he
run
helps
it.
with
stuff.
the entertainment
You
and
run
the
it.
real estate
Nah,
company.
Go look at you like this, right? It's like I always said, what do? when you have open a restaurant, you always got the knockout girl in the front. Why? Because you gotta have the honeys that draws the flies.
See?
My man Thomas, the honey that draws the flies. All
Thomas
the young girls,
is the honey?
All the young girls gonna be going around. Oh, Thomas.
I'll take the honeys.
That's it.
Yeah,
Oh
okay.
yeah, man.
All right.
You gotta have the honey that draws the flies. That's it.
Oh man.
Well, congratulations on 90 years.
90 years,
90
and
years.
then we
That's
got
wonderful.
River Rock that's 10 years
All right,
this year.
let's talk
Talk
about
about
River
River
Rock.
Rock,
When
yeah.
did you? This was kind of your baby. Like you thought of this, and people thought
No,
you were nuts, didn't they?
Well, I'll tell you how it all started.
All
There
right.
was a guy from Cuyahoga Falls. His name was Walt English.
Which is where I live. So we do
you know,
the
you remember
Rockin' on the River was the
right?
biggest thing every Friday night summer festival. You'd have a band there. We'd have 2 or 3 bands.
Yeah, they're
and
tribute
beer
bands.
trucks, and that's where everybody
And
would
food
go.
vendors and all that. So Walt comes to Warren, and he starts, and it doesn't work. You know, it's just he's doing the free shows, and it's not working like it should. So he's having financial issues. I gave him some money to keep it going because I thought it was good for downtown
Yeah, it
Warren.
is.
So long story short, the last show of the 1 year, he says, "Please partner with me. We charge instead of free. We make money." He says, "We're going to be partners next year." I said, "Okay, that sounds good to me." Well, I know anything. I mean, nothing. I just put some money up, and this looks good.
So
He-
he's doing the shows on Saturdays, right?
Yes. And
So,
on
same
Fridays was
band would go
Cuyahoga
from
Falls.
Friday
Yeah,
to
we book
Saturday.
bands back. Now we do Rockin' on the River in Lorraine.
Yeah.
With Bob Early.
Okay.
So, and we're involved with the Kent stage too. Tommy Simpson. So he dies in November. Mike O'Brien calls me and says, Walt died. I was blown away because he was a nice guy. He was 61, had 2 young kids, 10 years old, 8 years old, young wife. Long story short, I said, yeah, we'll do it. We'll take our shot, right?
Okay.
Knew nothing. Bob Early jumped in, Tommy Simpson, everybody helped. And we started. And I really did think I was nuts. I'm thinking, what? I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing.
Because you
So-
got to do what? Now, what are the
Oh,
responsibilities?
I had to build a website. We had to
Book the
sponsors,
bands,
book
all
the
the
band. I
things,
mean,
right?
everything. And I didn't know anything, but it was contracts. It was money. You kind of figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And we started, and we've never looked back. We had, like 5,500 people Saturday night. So
What was the show last week?
Queen, and
Oh, the Queen
because
tribute?
of Bohemian Rhapsody, called Queen Nation. Like people were coming, they wanted their kids to take pictures. I mean, they're tribute bands, but it was still pretty
Oh,
cool.
They're all
Yeah.
good. They're all good.
And
Sometimes you just close
these
your
guys
eyes
are from California,
and you think you're
We flew 'em in.
listening to the real band.
they're really that good. So we got into the entertainment thing, and I was like, okay. Well, then after like 5-6 years, I thought, okay, tribute bands are good. Then we went inside and we started doing stuff at Packard Music Hall, back at the back, and then we got into a good a family friend, Manny Cloditis, who's related to the Payovlises. He is a big Broadway guy, so he says, "Why aren't you doing Broadway shows?" And I said, "Well, what the fuck I'm doing. That's why." So I mean, I don't know. He helped us. That's why you've seen like Jersey Boys, Blue Man Group, Mamma Mia, Jersey Boys, which is a perfect Youngstown thing.
Oh, my God.
Sold out. We should have done
In
at least 3
minutes,
or 4.
right?
In minutes, it was sold. It was sold so quick, and Tressel calls and says like 3 weeks before the show, "Hey, can you get me good seats?" I said, "Now, it's late, but we called the tour.
You
They
told him
really
a pound salt, right? You said no way? Oh, okay.
He's such a nice guy. So him and his wife came. It was very, very nice. Very nice. So we got into that, So now the Robbins Theater.
Robbins Theater.
Mark Marvin with the Downtown Development Group. He's doing all these
It's
properties.
in downtown Warren.
Yeah, it's 1,500 seats. I want you to be. You got to be there one night. You'll be.
When did it
When we
close?
talk about- you know what? Here's what was Ken brought up, and I think I'm for it. See, anybody who's listening to the show maybe can write in or take
Eddie
email
O'Neill?
And here's what I said. There was a similar thing I was doing in Vegas. Not Vegas. Jeez, Atlantic City.
Okay.
A little different.
Baby Vegas.
Oh God.
Only 3,000 miles apart.
And I
Nothing.
did a few, did a few times. I actually did it at the Friars Club in New York too, and it's called a night called Stories from the Corner, and it's basically
like
sitting there
that.
like you're doing stories, and you talk, and you start telling me about, and it's about not a career like what you read about, it's just like
Life experience.
life experience. But they want to know about. What I would tell Stories from the Corner would be about the lead up to the fight. A lot of things people don't know. They know about the fights. They don't know the lead up to the fight. So things that happen in training camp, things like that. So, and there's a lot of stories, man. And those are the best stories.
They are.
And then I would, go off and I would tell stories about other guys too, but about my own thing. And then you tell stories about, people I met, how one thing led to that. It was just stories from the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a great night of entertainment. Great story. People enjoy listening to the stories. I do.
Oh, my gosh. I just went to, David Faraday is? You ever heard of David Faraday?
Yeah, how do I know
He's
that?
the golf announcer from
Oh, yeah.
Ireland.
David Faraday.
Funny.
Yeah. Oh,
Funny
he's
dude.
great with the
He's-
mustache and all that.
He's
yeah.
on tour. He goes on tour We just saw him a couple of weeks ago at MGM Northfield Park.
But what's he
Really?
going to talk about?
He tells stories.
My life,
That's
like
all
you're
he
doing
does.
now.
Exactly what you're doing.
Was it
Talks
sold
about his
out?
caddy. Yep. Talks about his caddy. Talks about golfing. Talks about alcoholism. Talks about.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all he does.
That's all you do. You tell
It's like
stories.
2 hours
That's right.
of. It's
That's
kind
right.
of stand-up comedy. It's
Yeah,
just funny
but
freaking
it is,
stories.
But you tell stories. You want to be entertained, and you tell.
Yeah.
And but to your life, people I met and how I met them, and the stories of being with them and certain nights. And
Right.
Stuff. I mean, yeah.
So you and Eddie O'Neill, you said he won't come, but Eddie, it's
Eddie,
like
Eddie,
open
Eddie,
invitation
I'm open to you, Eddie. Come to Youngstown. Come to Warren.
on stage.
Why would you want to be in Hawaii when you could be in Warren?
put him up in the Avalon.
Yeah,
We
we'll
could
put
put
him
him
at
up
the
here.
Avalon.
Why?
Lauren will be the moderator. It'd be great. People, those stories need to be told because I'm telling you, today's society is different than it was.
Oh, there's no dispute.
And it's to me, it's not for the better
No,
either. To be
no,
honest
no.
with you, all this technology and all this bullshit, but it'd be fun, and that's the kind of stuff. Do you know who Mike Franzese is? The guy.
Michael's a very close friend of mine. When he was, do you remember when you had him at Packard? Who
Packard
introduced
Music
him?
Hall.
Who-
You did.
Thank
And
you
you
very
signed
much.
the pizza box for us. It's at the restaurant
Yes.
still.
Michael, yes,
There you
I
go.
Went afterwards, we
And,
went
and he
after.
found, he went from the Godfather to
No,
God.
no,
What's he called?
no,
From God to the Godfather, something like
From
that.
Godfather to God.
Yeah.
Michael was the youngest capo in organized crime history.
Okay.
Youngest
Made
capo.
a ton of
He
money.
was
What
a cop-
family?
The Colombo family.
Okay.
His father, Sonny, who just as he just passed.
He just got out of jail.
Just got jail 100 years old.
Yeah.
101. I don't know if he's just passed. I think he just passed. Was 101 years old.
Jeez.
Oldest organized crime figure in history. His father and my father were in the service together. So I met Sonny years ago, and he's talking about my father and him. And Michael, I met Michael in 1983 down on Mulberry Street, literally
Oh, man,
in
New
New
York.
York.
Yeah, sure.
And I used to hear about him and want to talk about him. Young, good looking kid. Now, so I'm 58. Michael's a little bit older than me, not much, but a handsome son of a gun, right? Well, cut to, he got jammed up and he went away. So now my kids are playing at the Boys and Girls Club. I was just talking about my daughter and my son, and my daughter's on a team with young Michael Franzese. I make a call to my friend in New York. I said, "Yo, is this?" He said, "Oh yeah, man, he's out." And oh, that's him. He went out. He had to go. And so I see him at a game. I said, "Michael, oh Raymond," and we start talking, and then we meet together for lunch and stuff, and just chat, and he's doing good. And then how about this? My son Ray is going to school with his daughter, and my son goes to high school. I said, "Pop," he said, "You know who I've been calling?" I said, "Who?" I said, "I forgot his daughter's name. Michael Franzese's daughter." I said, "What?" I said, "Oh, no. He said, "Oh, Pop, because she's a beautiful little girl." I said, No. That's a headache we don't need. Not because Michael's a friend.
Of course
Ray,
he wouldn't do
Ray,
anything.
don't stop. She's a sweet girl. You say, no, forget that stuff. I said, Pop, she's a knockout girl. Yeah. I know she's a beautiful girl, young girl, beautiful. What she is. And I said, no. That's a friend that we don't, So, and I always had respect for Michael because my son's a young kid. I understand him. He's my son. Why wouldn't I understand? So I don't want him, but Michael used to laugh. He said, "Hey, yeah, my daughter got a crush on your boy." Yeah, but he won't be following up calling that.
I actually got a show. I can't talk about it yet. We booked it, but you'd be perfect for it. So I'm going to have you on stage with these guys.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about it
Yeah.
off the air.
Hey, wait. Let me
But
ask
Eddie
you.
O'Neill, Mike Franzese, I want to get him to speak because I think it's a fascinating story.
Well, we're gonna have to talk because
Okay.
I did for my.
It could be a bourbon night. It could be boom, boom, bourbon
One of
night.
the things I want to do.
Oh, bourbon
One of
night.
the things I want to do for charity. And I've talked about it, so I'll talk about it here. I want to do a speaker series.
I'm
where
in
one
already.
Guy would come in 1 a quarter, but not the football player for the Cleveland. I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in stuff you can read. I want the guys you can't read, such as Bruce Cutler, John Gotti's lawyer. Bruce is a friend. I get Bruce to come. Mikey, Freeway Rick Ross. He did travels. Freeway Rick Ross. My man here knew Freeway Rick Ross. I know I'm not talking Freeway Rick Ross. Yeah, you look him up. You'll know exactly. Oh, that's
He's
him.
a rapper, right?
No, he got sued by the real Rick.
Oh,
Freeway,
was that?
Freeway Rick Ross was the one who's the largest. And he talks about cocaine. He introduced crack cocaine in America. He was the youngest cocaine distributor in all of America. Rick Ross was 27 years old. Was bringing in $950 million a year.
So it'd be a family series.
Well,
Like
well, listen, hold on.
Right, good
But he
for
got
kids.
jammed up.
No, I'm just
but he got jammed up. The government used him. You know the thing with Ollie North, the thing that was Rick Ross. They were using his drugs. I mean, He got jammed
be a
up.
great story.
He went away. No,
phenomenal
but here's the thing.
We're
He
gonna
went-
do this.
yeah,
Lauren, you
but-
hear that?
I
We're
know.
gonna do this.
But
Why
it's also-
can't I
you
be
gotta
the
do it.
moderator
You got to
sometimes?
do
You
that.
can be the
You gotta do
moderator.
that.
Thanks.
Freeway
Jeez.
regret.
It's all the good
Great
stuff.
story. He's out. He
Why
travels.
can't both of you?
We can moderate.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, he travels. He does. Those are the type of guys.
We're arguing over
Somebody
here.
like that.
Hey,
or,
did,
or somebody like a guy we had 2 weeks ago.
I love that Bruce Cutler. He was on Blue Blood. You see him on Blue Blood?
Yeah,
The show?
yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
that. I love
good
that
show.
stuff.
But or the guy we get what the UFO experience. The guy
Yeah, Ray.
Ray.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I want people out of
Oh,
the
the
box.
guy that was on your show a couple
Yeah,
weeks
yeah.
ago? Yeah.
I want
Interesting.
people outside the box. I don't want to get the football player. Or the
That's going to
no,
be the name
no.
of the series, Outside the
No.
Box.
Oh.
I like that.
See?
Remember,
Easy.
somebody remember that because I won't.
No, I was telling people. Well, I want to do a speakers, and that's what maybe we could do it at the
Robbins.
at the Robbins.
It's a nice 1,500 seat theater. It'll be like a mini
yeah,
Powers auditorium.
that's exactly.
The plaster work's incredible. I mean, we got guys doing
It's
all the
old
rest.
school.
It opened in 1923.
20s. Yeah.
Okay, it was part of the Warner family. Daniel Robbins was related to the Warner family somehow. Closed in 1970. I saw the Poseidon Adventure there. Okay, 1974, and here we are in
2019.
20. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
2019.
I live in the
And,
present.
like downtown, Mark Marvin, Jimmy DeCenzo, they're doing this incredible restoration of this place. I mean, you just can't believe what's going on in there right now. We made the stage twice as big. The dressing rooms are going to be gorgeous. So say you come, the dressing rooms are beautiful. You know, you got to hang out. You got
Yeah,
beautiful
that's right.
televisions, couches. We'll have all the food. We got a nice kitchen there. I'm going to do all the food. Of course, from the Sunrise Inn.
That's
Just
it.
a little plug there.
That's it.
But
That
90 years.
Unsolicited.
Not unsolicited commercial. 90 worldwide. Okay.
so
We'll do it. Hey, can I ask you something about when you were fighting
Yeah.
and the mafia?
Good.
Did you ever entertain the thought? But
No.
did they ever come
No.
to your
No.
people
No.
to even try to
No.
have you fix one?
No. That's old. That's old John Garfield films. And I'll tell you, Mike, it was too
Raging
sophisticated.
Bull, huh?
It was too sophisticated. Now, here's the difference. People say is boxing?
That's too sophisticated?
It's too sophisticated in this respect. It ain't. They don't go to the promoter or the fighters no more. They don't go to. They go to the judges. The judges. Everyone's got judges now, and the judges have to look at things with a slanted eye. So if you wonder why a lot of these fights go, how can everybody in the world could see what this? Why come this guy couldn't see it? You know, Malvina late. Not Malvina. I don't want to say the woman because I can screw up her name all the time. There's two women judges in L.A. and in Vegas, and I don't want to say the wrong name. I screw up all the time. The woman judge the first Triple G Canelo fight, when everyone had Triple G winning, cleared it, and she gave Canelo 10 of the 12 rounds, you know, but she was known for doing business. She was known for doing business. So that's the type of stuff I'm talking about.
Never came to you though and said, "Hey, can
No.
you throw one?"
No,
or...
no. Those days are gone. Those days, because I said it's too sophisticated. They would go to the judges.
I see.
And,
Makes
you know,
sense.
But
One of my favorite boxing movies is Cinderella Man with Russell Crowe when he
Yeah.
plays Braddock.
yeah.
Just a great movie.
Max
you
Baer.
know?
That's
The
right.
whole thing.
And some people would say, "What's my favorite boxing movie?" I said, "Body and Soul," John Garfield. Everything
seen
is
that.
John 1948.
I never even heard of it until you brought it up.
1948. It's one of the greatest films. John Garfield, 1948.
Was it
John
silent
Garfield,
movie or regular?
No,
I'm joking.
Lily Palmer, and I actually
It was a
did.
talkie.
We can play it at the Robbins
And
Theater.
I actually did a remake for 1998.
Really?
For MGM. MGM owned
that's
rights.
cool.
They didn't know what I told. And that's what I did. And I did it with Jennifer Beals, Joe Montana, Rod Steiger,
Really?
Michael
get to that.
Michael
I wanna
Chiklis.
see this.
It's good. Bad.
I know Michael Chiklis.
Chiklis.
Yeah, the commish.
Yeah, he's the commish.
Thomas,
played-
we knew him from Chicago.
Right.
We're related to Telly
Yeah.
Savalas, really.
Telly
distantly.
was a very close friend. Of
Really?
mine.
Yeah.
I love Telly.
You were just with his granddaughter at the wedding in New York.
Telly. How about this?
Did he really do the lollipops?
No,
in
that
real
was
life?
a put on there. No,
okay,
no,
just
no.
want to make sure.
Telly. I did a movie with Telly. It was on a TV movie. Dirty Dozen, 12, 15, 20, whatever it was. 30 Dozen in Yugoslavia, Zagreb, Croatia, actually. 1988.
I love Croatia.
And so, and with Telly, and his brother Gus. Gus is a good, that was his right hand guy, and Telly. I just got just one of the coolest guys. Everything you wanted to see, you thought Kojak was Telly.
Really?
Was
Who
that?
loves you, baby?
Who loves? So now, I was training for. Now I come back to fight, and I'm training for the my last what was the Camacho or Haga fight, whatever it was. And and Telly comes. I think it was the Haga fight, and it was at the Sands. I'm like, Telly, come by. He's in Vegas, and I come over, give him a big hug, and you have to. And he said, no, man. I said, I don't want to interrupt. I don't know, because it was in the middle of training. He said, I just come by, send a little love your way. I love that. Send a little love your way.
That's cool.
And that was Tully, man. And we got to, and I got a chance to sit with him and talk about the old time. And man, and you know, he was everything you thought he'd be. Tell his fathers. And man, he loved his heritage, loved his Greek heritage. His brother Gus was always and then another brother too. And but anyhow.
And you're related to him?
Yeah, we had an uncle that had 40, Pete Pihos, they call him the Golden Greek, is in the Football Hall of Fame. We're related to him distantly, and they had big weddings in Chicago. They'd rent like the Chicago Museum of Art, the Pritzker Live, whatever, and it'd be, 1,000 people, and they'd all be there. And it was great. I mean, you'd have all these famous entertainers, and it was just a blast. So we got to see everybody,
Man, yeah.
and it was nice. But his granddaughter, right? Do you know who that is, Ray?
No, for Tully's son-in-law, could be a brother. So I know, but that makes sense.
Yeah.
That would make sense, of course.
Yeah. So it's been an interesting life. I got no complaints. The restaurant, River Rock.
You're doing this theater. When's it going to be done?
Oh, January 9th,
and
2020.
We're still for sure on that date.
Oh, absolutely. We've got we just moved. Charbonnet's Winery just opened down the road, which is, we want to get you there with your wine.
Thank you.
And we moved the whole workforce down to the theater now. I mean, there's plasters working, there's painters, but now we're doing restrooms now, we're doing dressing rooms. The seats are all done.
Oh, yeah?
Seats are refurbished. They're sitting in temperature controlled, beautiful crushed red velvet.
Is there going to be a marquee?
Oh, huge marquee with 5-foot by 13-foot LED TVs on both sides, which broadcast. So if I get a show, which I have one in April of next year, it's going to be monster. We're going to broadcast from inside the theater, close the street off, put chairs on the road, let people watch it. I'm also going to broadcast it at the Amp, too. It's going to be that big. So we're working on some really cool stuff.
You can't tell us what the show is?
I wish I could, not yet, but
What's
we will.
the opening show? The January 9th.
I can't tell you that.
Well, for heaven's sakes, Ken.
Well, actually, the opening show we're going to do is because we've had a lot of folks have memories of the theater,
Okay.
We're going to do like a class, like a Tommy Dorsey, some big band music for all those patrons. We're selling the sponsorships on the seats, So everybody's donated. Everybody's been involved. We got a guy just donated, Mark Brakovich is his name, from Champion, this bronze plaque that weighs like 400 pounds, but it has Daniel Robbins on it. It's very cool. So we're going to try to do that. And then the next night we have a big weekend of shows. There's about 6 shows in about 9 days. So, and our goal is to get people walking downtown. They park. Mark Marvin, downtown development, a lot of the parking area we have. So there's all the parking we possibly want.
And everybody will benefit from it. Right?
Everybody will benefit. And it'd be cool. You know what? I keep
Yeah.
hearing all the stories about when people were downtown and there was people
Yeah,
walking.
yeah.
And we haven't had that. People might come to the Sunrise, they park, they eat, and they leave.
Right.
I want people to walk. I want them to go to different places. A new steakhouse opening down
Well,
there
that
called
courthouse
Jack.
square is amazing.
beautiful.
It is beautiful. And I'll tell you, but I that's why when I hadn't been so excited to go when the new hotel opened in downtown Youngstown.
That's beautiful.
Doubletree, because
And Pesto's
there hadn't
doing
been-
a great
and-
job.
And,
Yeah, he
they, and because they had a new we had a new building in over 40-something years, and it's spectacular. And I mean, I couldn't tell you how excited I was to go to the restaurant. My friend Mark Hensonet, of course.
Oh, Mark.
No,
He,
but I
he
mean,
was at the Sunrise
yeah,
for 6 years.
yeah.
Did a great. Let me tell you something. Our restaurant was a little stale. We had the old people food and all that
Yeah.
stuff. We didn't have greens on the menu like 15 years ago. Mark put the beans and greens. The green, completely refurbished our menu. Trained the chef that we have now, Chef Stu. So a debt of gratitude from him, because Mark's been a friend for.
Oh yeah, man.
And he loves Sunrise Pizza.
Yeah.
So it's a good trade.
And he lives out here,
Doesn't live far.
So it's beautiful. Anyhow,
I'm interested in this wireless thing.
Okay.
Have you heard about this yet?
no.
Warren
you're gonna hear
Wireless.
about it, 'cause maybe we'll
Warren
do something
Wireless.
with this.
Well, tell me what the problem was before you decided to solve the problem.
Well, first of all, everybody's pissed off at the cable companies. They
True.
pissed everybody off
And
with
satellite,
that. And
and
satellite and all. They
everybody.
pissed them off with that, all the new stuff you had to go buy and the fees.
That's because I apologize for that.
No.
Am I the only one? Is anybody? I can't get CBS or Fox.
Oh, that's
On
a
what?
direct
Next,
TV.
that's on
Oh, 'cause
DirecTV.
they're in a fight.
Nextstar.
Yeah.
Oh, am I the only one? Because I'll
No,
tell
we
you
don't.
what.
Guess where the
What
Browns
is it,
play?
Nextstar.
They play on channel
CBS.
20? Oh,
Get
wow.
somebody
They'll-
better get this shit going,
And
because I'll
Fox.
tell you
they'll
what,
fix it
And
by
I
now.
will be
Fox.
definitely going back to Armstrong Cable. Anybody listening from from DirecTV, listen, man, you're gonna miss a whole lot of people.
Or the TV station. They
Yeah,
got
the
They're the
football
ones that got to
season's
work it
coming
out.
up.
Browns aren't that far
Fox
away,
and
yeah.
Fox and
Dude,
CBS.
next month they're going to play preseason games.
You
They'll
better
fix
start getting to
They'll
it.
fix I believe they'll fix it.
Negotiate the deal. Oh yeah, I can't get it. I'm like,
Just get it done. Just get it done. All right.
And I'm
Anyway,
sorry,
so go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No, that's
So the
no,
problem
it's
is
true. You know,
people
I
are mad.
didn't even realize. I come
Yeah.
back from vacation. I said, "What the fuck's going on?"
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I saw that. So anyway, we have this kid named Tyler Harden who's a genius. Okay, he brings his stuff to me. I'm not the most technologically savvy guy there is. You know,
me both.
So I says, Thomas, I don't know if he's what he knows. So he brings a guy to me that's really smart. I says, Joel Davis. Joel Davis does all the wiring. So I says, Joel, interview this guy. Tell me if he knows what he's talking about before we go any further.
What does he want to do?
We're doing wireless internet, Wi-Fi, all over Trumbull County. Even we have hopes
TV
from
too? Like
no TV, phone,
Okay.
and Wi-Fi. Internet, Wi-Fi, wireless internet.
okay.
So my technology thing is not too good. But we're going to start. We already have downtown Warren Wired. We're going to start there, and we're going to radiate out. Okay, so we're getting a terrific response. What are you trying to tell me? Yeah, we have all Mark Marvin, DDG. We own all the buildings. He owns all the buildings. We put in the transmitters, and we can broadcast. I mean, we're going to really shoot this. Sunrise Inn has this Warren Wireless, and we use it for all the credit card charges. It's incredible. So if you go to warrenwireless.net, you'll see all the pricing, all the speeds, which are I'm clueless with that stuff, but bips and MIPS and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But our pricing is great, but our service we're faster and cheaper.
So it's not like you saw everybody else making money on this and you wanted to make money on it.
No.
You're trying to do better
we
than
are
the
going to do
people
better.
gouging
yeah.
everybody else.
Tyler brought it, and Mark Marvin and I partnered up, which we do on some other things, and it's just incredible. We did our research because again, my technology thing is not good.
Not savvy like the kids.
Not say how these guys. Yeah, ask him. He gets pissed off at me because
I know everybody gets mad at me
hey,
too.
Order this for me. Do this. Send this. But he does it. So there's a need there. Everybody's mad at the cable company, the service. I've had some issues. So we see a real need, and we're going to do it. The transmitters. We've been installing things for the last month, and we're going to put like a wireless transmitter on top of your house, and we can go from house to house. With all the buildings we control, in Holland, we're really going to start covering the area. Water towers, we have a deal with the water towers with the city.
So if I'm just a guy that lives in Warren, my Wi-Fi will be cheaper.
Yes,
and
cheaper,
I won't have to
faster, and and I don't. From reports we get, people are not happy with the service. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what we're hearing. So yeah, if you go to warrenwireless.net. All the information's there.
How far out will you go? Just Warren?
We're starting. We'll come all the way into Howland within 6 months. We can go all the way to Champion. What it is, you start here and you build out, and that's what's happening. The most important thing is our reputations are on the line, so we can't screw this up.
No.
People get. I mean, you might not have electricity or something, but if you don't have Wi-Fi, people get pissed off.
Oh yeah.
So we don't want.
But there
that.
are places you can't get Wi-Fi. It seems
and
right?
we just talked to a business in Youngstown that because of the railroad track, they cannot get wireless, so we can solve that problem.
Huh.
So we're working on all that, and like I say, we're installing. All the equipment's purchased. We're getting ready. We're kind of looking at the beginning of August.
You have to sign a contract?
Oh, we're ready to roll.
I mean, would I have to sign like a 2-year contract? Or how?
I don't know.
Do you have any idea? Thomas?
Yeah, 2-year contract and
I don't
blood.
know.
Or can I go month to month?
No, you know what? I don't
2-year
know.
contract and blood.
Yeah, just
We
a
want
little
your
bit of
blood.
plasma.
I'm the kind
all.
of person, if you're not happy, you shouldn't stick with me. If you don't like my food, you shouldn't come back. So I don't know what our policy is, but my feeling is, if you don't like it, you should be able to go somewhere else.
See, I come from the policies. You're getting it if you like it or not.
Yeah.
And you're going to pay it.
You be
and
good.
if you don't, you're going to pay the vig on top of that, too.
That's right. See?
It's
You're
nice to hear
paid
that,
one way or the other.
That's an old
You can
time
enjoy
phrase.
it, eat it, and like it. If don't, you're still going to pay.
You don't know what the VIG means, do you? I'll explain that after
Gotta
the
pay
show.
the vig, man.
The VIG.
Oh,
But anyway,
man.
so there's a need for that, So downtown Courthouse Square, if you're sitting there, we're providing free wireless on the square. And hopefully all the businesses and everybody, once we go down East Market.
It's important.
Yeah, we want to offer that
important,
because
man.
this area, one of the things with the theaters, we got to hold these young people here because they're leaving. And I understand, but you got to have quality of life. You got to have jobs. So the theater, if there's things to do, people can make a living. The cost of living is cheap here. It's,
One of the
what
cheapest.
are your taxes in California? They're killing you, right?
Wow,
Not that the weather, you can't really compare.
See, that's what I'm saying. I tell people. See, people go, what with the traffic out there. I said, well, that's the trade-off. When you see the sun 300+ days of the year, no clouds, no humidity, no rain,
people wanna go.
300 all day, every day.
Right.
That's the trade-off.
Yeah.
So you got 10 million people on the city, 7 million on the freeway at the same time. That's the trade-off. It's part of the deal. That water ain't for free. When you're looking at the ocean, that ain't for free.
No.
That sun ain't for free. We're paying it for it.
When I come out, I'm going to take you to this olive oil factory out there. It's called Corto. The Cortopasa family owns it.
Well, where's it at?
It's in Lodi.
Lodi, yeah.
And then I'm going to take you to another
Santa
tomato
Barbara.
factory. It's called Stanislaw Foods. They make the best tomatoes, the best sauce. You can't believe. So we're going to go out in September when they're picking them. You go out in the fields with. It's so fun. It's really. It's It's a family-owned business. We use all their products in the
Lodi,
restaurant.
that's why my wine is bottled and blended.
Is it really?
Bottled and blended. 100% Napa grapes, bottled and blended.
I love Lodi. That's beautiful.
Lodi's
There's a
beautiful.
place there called like the Rose and this. Or
I went through Lodi. I haven't spent a whole lot of time, but Lodi is spectacular.
It's
It is,
beautiful.
because of wineries. And
How you
stuff.
spell it?
But,
L-O-D-I.
Oh, like the one in
Well,
Ohio.
well, that's what I said. Exactly. But people say to me, "Where's your wine made?" I said,
Lodi.
They go,
In Medina?
outside of Cleveland?
Yeah.
I go, no.
That's on the way to Columbus,
Outside,
right?
Yeah,
That's
right.
right
No,
there.
no, California. Yeah, I didn't realize that.
So yeah, it's beautiful. That's right. But I mean, when you see what you can pay for a house here and you raise your kids, the school system's good in most areas. It's good, but you can't buy the sun. It was
No,
beautiful.
that's
It's,
what I'm
it's
saying.
beautiful.
Look, people
it
always
was
say-
we were a Pebble. It was beautiful.
You know, I love Youngstown. I came back. People said, why? I said,
It's your home.
It seemed like a good idea at the time. But I love being home. I've always wanted to come back. Always. I truly did. But it was the right time. I was out there for 30 years. But like you said, part of it, because Youngstown, the quality of life, the quality of the people. But if
Great
people
food,
say,
too. Great
but
food.
Food is terrific. But if you could get the sun here, a little bit more people, nobody would leave it.
No.
If we had the sun out there, nobody would ever leave Youngstown. Youngstown would be the greatest place on earth.
Yeah.
Cost of living, everything. But see, that's the part of the deal. We get. They did a study.
Getting warmer.
They did
Warmer and
They
warmer.
did a study. They did a study a couple years ago. Youngstown gets Sundays where there's no rain, no clouds, no humidity. 30 a year.
No, I know it's the end in Ohio.
30.
That's why they built the
Of
Ravenna
all
Arsenal,
all
from
the
what I'm told,
cities-
during the war. Because,
Oh yeah,
because
because it's under the
bombs,
clouds. Of all the cities in Ohio, Youngstown gets the least amount of sun. All the big cities.
Lucky us. Lucky
Yeah.
us.
I
So,
still love
you
it.
know,
And that's why
My
we're
town
doing this
is
stuff.
my town.
You know, like theaters, entertainment, you got to have quality. You got to have stuff for people
that's right.
to do. So when
People
you get
still
to
go out here though.
Oh,
That's the one thing about it. When I said when we got hit with the recession, there's no such thing in Youngstown. We move, we go along.
We were busy. We were busier than ever.
We go.
We'll go out to
People
eat.
go out when they got money. They're always out. You go out any joint on 224. You go joint everywhere you look. There was restaurants. People are there.
So-
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's incredible. You're right. So, to me, you got to have quality of life. You got to have jobs. But to keep everybody here, you got to do that. I want my family around me. You
of
know,
course.
I like to go to Florida in the winter. Yeah, because I hate snow. I never want to see snow again.
Right.
Never. So that's what we're doing. So now with downtown, you know, like you got the Charbonnet's Winery on the river, which was the old Scope Center. You know, it was an old. You know.
Do you own that?
No, Mark Marvin owns that
Okay. Why do they
And-
call it Charbonnets?
because his name is Char Butcher.
She's the lady, right?
She's the lady,
blonde?
and her significant other's Ben. So Charbonnet.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh, a little play on words.
Little play.
Hey,
But you
why
got
not?
to. I mean, the
Why not?
patio's 5,000-6,000 square feet on the river, stamped concrete with the balustrade. Look like a Roman villa. The interior's beautiful. Just opened last week. She's doing a little soft opening. You know, getting everything under control, which she's doing. There's a steakhouses. There's a couple more things going on in downtown Warren that are really going well. So for GM Lordstown closing, I'm surprised that the economy is still, things seem to be moving along, and I don't know why, because that was a pretty significant driver. But so far, even look at all the mills closed back in the 70s. Youngstown is tough. People still survive. We still persevere, you know.
Yep.
It's
So-
well, that's Youngstown. We survive. We survive. That's it was one thing people always said. We survive. We get along. We go,
Fighters.
We go along to
Yes.
get along. I mean, we do it.
You know, new businesses like, you know, we were talking about this Diet Doc of Ohio, you know,
Okay.
Henry Percy.
I
He
do.
just opened a new store on Route 46 in Holland. New business. There's just a lot of new businesses opening right now that I'm not sure where everybody's coming from, how they're supporting them. But he's a nutritionist. He has a beautiful gym there. He's in North Jackson. So I think it's our spirit.
It is. It's a
we're
fighting
blue
spirit.
collar.
Fighting spirit. We have the entrepreneurial spirit, and like I said, if you could make it go here,
Make
You
money.
got a nice life here. It's a
And look
nice
at the
life.
Avalon Inn. Let's talk
It's
about
spectac-
It's
spectacular.
in my backyard.
Right, you live
What
right here.
Ron and everybody has done here, the place is never empty. There's
spectacular,
weddings
man.
every weekend. The golf courses are second to none.
It's true.
3 beautiful, well, now 4 beautiful
Four.
courses.
Yep.
Sorry. I rode my bike over here yesterday. I went in the lobby,
There
got
you
some
go.
water. But I mean, Ron doesn't do this. This is an incredible complex. If you put this in California, it'd be goofy.
Forget about it.
So it's really nice.
Yeah,
The
Lauren
rain
and
has kind
I-
of screwed things
We were
up.
just talking when they finished the Roman bath and
Oh, that's gonna be
pool,
incredible.
and they changed the name of the resort to a different name.
Are
I
they?
can't tell you. I can't
Come
tell
on
you.
now. You,
How do you like that?
I told you something.
How do you like that? How does it feel?
All
It's going to be the
Off the air.
first
Where's this at? Where's it?
here.
You-
The
you
first
take-
at the hotel will be the first resort opened in the Midwest in the last 50 years.
About that.
I mean, how many resorts are opening
right.
up in this area?
And who would have thought
And busy.
that? And who would have thought
Yeah.
coming to Youngstown, outside of Youngstown, is a
Right.
resort?
Right. But people will.
No,
Once they see
absolutely,
that, they'll want to
absolutely.
come.
Don't want to come. It's spectacular.
I mean,
really.
people don't bat an eye to drive to
I
Cedar
was
Point.
thinking,
It's an hour and a half.
When I was a kid, this was the only joint around.
Yeah.
And it was a trek, man, coming from Youngstown.
That was
You go-
like 100 miles
oh,
away,
yeah,
right?
yeah, going away. You're driving out
There was
Belmont
no
Avenue.
connector.
Oh, my God, all the way to the old 82.
Oh, yeah, go down
Oh, my
Meridian
God,
and
there
all
was no
that
connector. Take Belmont Avenue out forever. You drive, and then you hit 82, you turn left.
Right.
You go, and now it's just, but that's the only joint in town, man. Yeah.
Youngstown, as much as going on, they really don't have a resort like this,
No,
do they?
no, we don't.
Kensington does a nice job, though,
They do.
don't
They're
they?
They
good.
do. They do nice
They're
stuff.
good, and they have the hotel now.
But this is amazing. I mean, this really is amazing. It's a Pete Dye golf course. Squaw's beautiful. I played Buell 3-4 weeks ago. Beautiful.
Yep, one of my favorites.
I have never been to Newcastle.
Me
so,
neither.
Mike, you're going to have to
Let's
take
go.
me. Oh, you want to go?
Yeah, I totally want to go.
Want to go?
He can ride in the cart.
I'll
You have to
the
drive
car.
me home.
Smoke
Sometimes I have a
cigars.
little tequila and cigars
no,
on the
we'll take
cart.
care of you.
You
Best
take a
part
little
of the-
Uber or
best
my
part of the
case.
game.
No, we'll take the shuttle bus.
Best
Oh,
part
shuttle
of the
bus.
game.
That's good.
We'll take the
Best
shuttle
part of the
bus.
game is driving the cart.
Yeah.
And that's it, man.
Are you? What do you got going with cigars? Anything good? Are you allowed to talk about it? Because you love cigars, right?
I love cigars. I like I'm not stuck on a specific brand. Like my father's cigars, I like the Partagas, I like Fuentes.
What do you like about them so much? You think?
Good flavor.
Do you smoke cigarettes?
No.
Okay.
And I've cut way back on my
And
cigars.
let me tell you, I told you. I
Good
had a
bottle
cig-
of bourbon,
I-
boom, boom,
good
bourbon and a
with the-
cigar.
And I'm
I know.
getting back.
Where's that
you know,
bottle? Right over there.
I was in the cigar business from 1998 to 2002, and I enjoyed it. I was doing good. I was doing the cigar craze. We did good. We weren't making it, but we weren't getting beat. It was great for networking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's the-
that's
was
when
a-
it would really
That
jump,
was right when it was
right?
happening.
Schwarzenegger, cigar
All that.
aficionado,
So then
all
I was,
that stuff.
I was originally a member of the Grand Havana Room, which was deep. It still is in Beverly Hills, New York. And they used to have it in Washington D.C., but it closed in Washington D.C., so it's still New York. and-
Monica
and listen,
Lewinsky killed that, didn't she?
Oh, here we go.
But
You young kids don't even know what that means.
Thomas, you know what that means? Okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
better.
When she said she was smoking, it meant it in another
we
way.
go.
Anyhow, but the cigar business was happening. It was great. It was a lot of fun. I'm looking to do something in Youngstown with the cigar. I'm getting back in the cigar business. Have my own line again, and it's the company. The name of the cigar is Boom Boom El Campeon. Boom El Campeon cigars. This will be 100% Dominican tobacco, but it's going to be a little different. You got to have a different hook. You know what I mean? What's going to make mine different from the others? You got to have a different hook. And we think we got it with this cigar.
Are you gonna wait till you see the cigar room they're putting in over
Yeah.
there? Do you know about that?
Over in the Avalon?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Or the new
Oh.
name is going to be called what you
Yeah,
won't
the
tell
new
me.
name.
You know already, don't you?
No, I don't.
No?
I don't know either. So
Just
I'm
me
waiting
and
to find
Lauren.
out.
That's it.
Really?
Yeah, and a couple people in this room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Enough
But
alcohol, everybody will talk right.
Yeah,
Yeah, enough
you're
of
lying,
boom
you're
boom
lying.
bourbon.
Get enough
So
of that.
the wine is Southpaw, right?
Southpaw wine. Southpaw. Because
Charbonnet's Winery, we'd love to have you.
Oh,
You can
love
sign
to-
the
love.
bottles.
It's
And
easy.
she's going to carry your bourbon. I just
I
talked to her
appreciate that.
today.
Oh, nice.
I told you the Southpaw wine. Southpaw people say, why is the name Southpaw? Because my last name in Italian, Mancino, means left-handed.
Does it really?
That's what it means.
And you
Mancino.
paid to
Southpaw.
fight a Southpaw, didn't
Yeah,
you?
and I am Southpaw.
Are you? I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
know
my
that.
first 6 amateur fight as a Southpaw. And Eddie Sullivan, my old amateur trainer, said, "Look, nobody wants to fight a Southpaw. You're strong, you hit hard, you're aggressive. I can't get
Is
you
that
no
true?
fights."
Did you
So-
have trouble with southpaws?
No, I was Southpaw.
No, I know, but if you're a Southpaw fighting a
'cause I know how
Southpaw-
to fight a Southpaw.
He understood it.
I know how to
He
fight a
understood it 'cause
Southpaw.
he reversed,
I know.
yeah.
So and Marvin Hagler's converted he fought Southpaw, but he's a converted right-hander.
Okay.
Because you
know
get your power hand in front. Actually, it's the right way. Because if it's a baseball player, you see most righties bat lefty, right? because your power hand swings through. It's the power hand going through. I actually did it the right way because I played baseball. I threw lefty, but I batted righty.
That's what I do.
And that's
You know why Joe Frazier had the best left hook? Do you know the story?
Well, I know, yeah, because Joe worked he was a sharecropper from
And
South
his
Carolina.
His dad didn't have a left arm, so he did all his dad's.
Joe's from South Carolina. Joe was
Left
a
hand.
sharecropper's son.
No kidding.
And Joe worked in the
That's why he had such
in
a
the fields.
strong left hook because he had to
yeah.
be his dad's left hand.
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought that was a great story.
Oh,
That is a
Smoke was
good
my
story.
guy.
You remember
man.
Blackie Gennaro, right?
I knew Black very well.
Black
sure.
used to take me to all the fights.
Yeah.
I was too young and not smart enough to realize, like meeting Muhammad Ali
Yeah.
and, of course, Shavers coming to the restaurant all the time. I met Norton, Jerry Quarry.
I knew
Oh,
all
God.
The,
Then
Kenny Ward, my
Hollifield, he'd
defense.
say, hey, kid, you want to go down to Mountaineer? Hollifield's going to be down there. I says, yeah, sure. I thought it was normal. I didn't realize what
Yeah.
back, I wish I would have, but, oh, what a guy.
Bad Black was great, man. Great for
IBF
boxing.
and IBC, right?
Yeah. Yep. But he started the Ohio Boxing Commission.
Ohio Boxing
so that's why
Commission.
we now we
coming
just
for
had.
lunch every
I just
day.
came from the meeting today. We had this morning, and Bernie's done a great job. We are probably one of the best commissions in the country, and we recognizes that. Not because I say so.
Mm-hmm.
We are truly recognized as one of the best.
Can we do a boxing tournament maybe again? Get
We just
something
need more
electric.
fighters, right?
We got, that's the thing. It isn't that the Youngstown Golden Gloves went by the wayside because
Well, I missed that.
because there's not enough fighters.
Right.
There's not enough guys.
Is Struthers Fieldhouse still there? Still
there.
operating?
Oh, of course.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's not, they do
anything
basketball.
going on?
It's part of the
basketball.
school
The school part of the
Okay.
school,
Yeah.
right? Part of the school basketball
Well, we
games.
should go there all the time for
That was the place.
And the
The
circus.
place. That's right.
Really, circus?
Yeah, they used to have a
But,
circus in there too.
Oh, the circus, right? I used to go to the circus there.
That's
Anyhow.
funny.
Oh, I can't tell. We go
Is there
on and
anything
on.
else that you guys are doing? Geez, I think we've covered the whole list,
Let
haven't
me
we?
look. Yeah, we did cover the whole list.
That's a lot. Your dad would be proud of you. You're just like him. Turns out.
I miss him. I can't even tell. It's funny. I go to the cemetery and I talk to him about weather. I said, I go anyway. I put flowers. Hey, Pop, we got a show Saturday. It's outside. I need weather, So worked pretty good over 10 years.
How many amps this year have been flooded out or rained out or anything? Have you been hit?
Oh, sure. Yeah, we had 3 ugly weeks. 3 ugly weeks. And last week we had...
you did okay last week.
Oh, last week was incredible. This week we got this Bruno Mars tribute called Uptown Funk. We're expecting 6,000-7,000 people.
That'd be
Oh, that's
wonderful. That'd be a
fun.
great show.
Be a good night to sell bourbon.
yeah.
We'll talk
Would
about maybe
be.
a night you want to come down. But,
Oh yeah, man. When is it? When is that?
This Saturday. Every Saturday night.
I'll be in Minneapolis.
You're doing
for the
fights,
That's
man.
okay.
Fox fight.
Pacquiao won't care.
Fox fight. No, this weekend.
Here's the
I got to
schedule.
get my unsolicited plug. Fox Sports 1, FS1.
Which means you're ringside.
I'll be ringside commentator with Chris Myers. We're doing Jamal Django James. Jamal James, kid from
Django.
this kid can fight, man.
Yeah.
JJJ,
Jamal James, Django
Triple
James
J.
from
Triple J.
Minneapolis, the old Armory where the Minneapolis Lakers played.
Really?
As I said, oh yeah,
George Mikan.
You could hear the voice. You could hear the ghost of George Mikan in the joint.
Really?
Oh, it's great,
Remember
man.
George
It's-
Mikan?
It's great.
Well, I didn't see
Elgin
him.
I didn't
Baylor-
either.
I know his
I
number
read,
is
I read about it.
99. That's
Elgin
all I know.
played, Elgin played with the Minneapolis
Yeah.
Lakers, and it's a great Armory, man. Joe Louis fought there. Ray Robinson fought there. So it's been around a long time, and it's spectacular. So
So
it's
this is not pay-per-view. This is
No,
like,
no, the
on
FS1.
DirecTV. It's $2.19, I think,
yeah,
right?
219 exactly.
Okay.
219 FS1. And
Thomas,
then
remind me of that,
That's
okay?
it. Jamal Django James is fighting Antonio DeMarco, former lightweight. Antonio DeMarco was lightweight champ, moving up 2 weight classes to fight Django James in his hometown at welterweight. Will be a great, great fight. And FS1, man, I'll tell you, nothing for nothing. We got the best fight. And then the following week, I got to give an unsolicited, but we have the pay-per-view event in Las Vegas. Manny Pacquiao fighting Keith One-Time Thurman. That show from top to bottom, the semifinal will be Omar Figueroa, Omar Figueroa fighting the kid from Cuba. I'm trying to think of his name. This is the
Fidel
semifinal.
Castro.
No, he died.
The
Pour a
kid
little out.
Sean Porter fight.
Oh, wait.
Ugas.
Okay.
Uras Ugas.
Yeah.
And then
And we thought he
John
beat Porter,
Molina-
right?
yeah,
Isn't that the fight?
we thought he beat Porter, right?
Thomas, you want to go? We'll go.
But I'm telling you, man,
We'll go.
You top to bottom. I'm not saying 'cause I work for them, but because I do work for them. But top to bottom, I think it's the best card all year for any promoter.
Nice.
Top to bottom, each fight each fight could be a headliner on their own. So there's 4 fights on the pay-per-view
We're at in Vegas. Which
at the MGM. And
You're just gonna
it's
go?
be spot.
Just like that?
It's gonna be-
I'll
it's gonna
talk
be
to you about it off.
the
I
night
think we
of the
know that
20th.
guy.
Why Thomas
July
gets to go?
20th.
I am
You
continually
want to
left
go?
out of
You
my.
want to go? We're more than welcome.
July 20th.
You gotta
Ray,
work.
can we get tickets, Ray?
You get tickets.
We can come. Let's
There you
go.
And,
Seriously.
if it's on Fox pay-per-view, And I'm gonna
And
tell you,
are you ringside on that one or
I will
in
be
the
in
studio?
the booth. I will be in the booth. So we have
Okay.
a booth in the arena. I'll be with Kate Abdo.
Now, will you talk to us or just kind of be totally big time?
I'll say, guys back in Youngstown at the Avalon Inn are going crazy right now watching this fight. So,
And they're eating sunrise pizza.
Eating sunrise pizza.
No, if we came, would you big time us?
What?
If we came to the fight, would you big time us or invite us in?
I mean,
Just be honest.
My arms with open arms. My
All right.
my
I have
circle-
my doubts. I don't know about you,
my
Ken. I
circle-
have my
no,
doubts.
no, man.
I got a question for you. Now, back in the day, who was a heavyweight champ? You knew who everybody was.
Yeah.
Tell me why there's not is it because of the fear of concussions? Why aren't the young boxers coming up?
Well, first of all, people always say to me
In the heavyweight division or
And-
just
and
any
in
division?
general.
Yeah, like people say to me all the time, "Where's the next great white fighter?" I said, "He's playing in the NFL."
Yeah. He's in MMA.
And they say, "Where's the next great American heavyweight?" I said, "He's in the NBA." And I'm not joking, because if you're a big, strong guy who's athletic, why wouldn't you go play a team sport where you get guaranteed contract and you got longevity and you got pension and all that? Why would you play
Well,
a
under
fighter?
that logic, it's never going to change.
No, I wouldn't be. And then now you got these kids. Go get educated. Go get educated. Go to school. Get that education. Like boxing's traditionally is a sport of the poor, economically depressed. That ain't going to change either. So we're always going to have good fighters. That's why we got great fighters.
it's the other
come from South
countries.
America. You come the Hispanic fighters because and the black fighters because they're the economically depressed traditionally.
Did
But
you?
we're
Hey,
not
did you go to
seeing- we're not-
college?
Yeah, I went to Kent.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
All 4 years?
I'm 16 hours short, believe it or not.
You're almost done,
Almost done.
Thomas.
My dad, I didn't want to go to college. My
Take care of
dad
that.
wanted me to
Well,
go to
you-
college, and
Ken,
I didn't care.
Ken, you gotta
That's
go,
what- 'cause you
Ken,
said
gotta
school
go to
wasn't that great.
college to get that knowledge, because you got to educate to elevate.
See?
Am I
But you
wrong?
learn more on the street because you
Of
can't be
course.
beat.
Yes, but you learn on the street. But that street education can only carry you so far.
That's true.
As I always tell my kids, and you educate to elevate. That's to take it to another level, man. And that's what we go to school for.
Do you think you'll ever go back?
No.
We got to do one more year, and you'll be walk across
Who
that
knows what's
stage.
happened to all those hours? But that never really meant a whole lot. My
I
dad
just
really,
wondered.
you know. But what happened was my dad at the end, not the end, when he just says, I don't want to do this anymore. So
Mm-hmm.
I was running the restaurant anyway, but he just wanted to go to Florida, and he was 60, and that was okay, because I enjoyed it. I grew up in it, so I
Mm-hmm.
knew the business, and it was okay by me. But
I can't always tell. I got a doctorate in life. I could a master's in life, and so that's the thing. Life is the greatest education. Experience is the greatest education.
well, Thomas got out of college, and I said, "Come on, we're going to open up an IRA for you." He was business and marketing. He goes, "I don't know what that is."
Oh,
I said, "You're
Thomas.
fucking kidding me."
No, that's it.
They don't teach that stuff in
No.
school.
Where'd you
But
go?
So how much now you know what triple net leases are.
That's right.
He knows contracts with
Hey,
the bands.
and-
I mean, he
and-
does all that stuff now, but they don't teach that stuff.
Everyone thinks too. You go to work. You work in a factory with a 401k. 401k. The money you got to work forever to build up enough money. Take that money, some of that money, a lot of that money, put it in a higher interest IRA, high interest CD, high interest checking account, and let it build over a period of time. That's going to be better than any
Compound money.
Compound. That's exactly right. High interest CD, high interest IRA, and let it compound, and then you get an allowance every month from it, and you can't touch the principal.
The annuities were good.
Oh man, I know that stuff, and I'm that's pug for crying out loud. But Jesus,
When
man,
you were fighting, who handled that stuff? So that you made sure that you were secure.
of course,
in your...
my business manager, Bill Reale. Bill Reale is my business manager. Eddie Flaskapalli were my lawyers who introduced me to Bill. They got me. Here's what you can do with your money, and I tell my kids the same thing. Now my kids are working here. Take your paycheck. Take 70% of that money, put it away. Take 30% to live off for that week, couple weeks, or that month, whatever. I used to get basically I put my money. I was getting a monthly allowance,
And that was the best thing, wasn't it?
Absolutely, man. And you don't when you go through if you want to go over allowance, you want certain things. Great, you wait till next month.
Well, you
Teach
see these
you-
guys that are broke now, so it's
So,
not working.
no.
A lot of fraud too, huh? A
Back then-
lot of your buddies and stuff probably got ripped off.
Oh
and,
yeah, of course. But everyone thinks you can't trust nobody. I said, no. You got to trust people. That's why you have people. You got to trust. You got to follow your instincts. You got to follow education. But you got to trust somebody.
The right people.
And who is the right people? We don't know. You follow your instincts. You got to go by your gut. I follow my instincts. And you know what? One thing I learned about business. My business manager, Bill Reed, all the time, Raymond, we make the best decision with the information we got, and we live with the results. And that's what it is. You got your gut feeling. You like these people that you do your diligence. You find out about the company, find out who they are, and then you say, yeah, I want to go with this guy. And you live with the result.
And that's what Warren Wireless
you trust
is. That's
them.
what we did with Warren Wireless.
You trust them, man. You trust them to make it. And they're making money great. You don't worry about it. And make sure to take care of your bills. That's it. You can't trust nobody. Well, that's a hell of a way to live.
Yeah, there's no
That's
way
a
to-
hell of a way to live. So you can't trust nobody, so you do nothing. Is that what that means?
No.
So you got to make money. You do your diligence, find out the right business manager, the right business the financial. You know, I had a financial manager. Then our financial advisors. But the thing is, when you do with financial advisors, you give them the money. You give them carte blanche to do with the money, to use it to buy stock, to this that. You got to do your diligence on it, and then you sign a paper saying they got
Yeah,
carte
let them
blanche.
do their job.
They let them do their job,
That's
as
right.
long as they're done, and you trust. And
Were you
that's what you
following
do.
your statements? Were you following your
always,
progress? Okay.
always. I'd go to business meetings. I didn't know it. I was like, I know how to do math, and I knew you go there, and I'd go. They go over it bit by bit, so I knew everything. And I go by my statements, what I'm buying, what I'm doing. Raymond, you're a little overspending a little too much this month. Okay, cut back on this, cut back on the clothes.
You were like
cut
Johnny
back
Depp
on
with
jewelry.
the 30 million in wine, right?
You know, my thing was jewelry and clothes. You know, how much jewelry can you wear? How many clothes? You know, that was the time.
Yeah.
That was my thing. But I was making it, so I was able to do it. But I didn't. I wasn't buying all these still things. You know, I had one car. You can only drive one car at a time.
Yep.
Right.
So anyhow, things like that. Okay, cut back. I cut back. I was able to sustain and do well enough. You know, you got to last you. I ain't got I create my own pension. I had my own pension, my own IRA. And that's what you do, your own retirement
Yep.
fund.
That's what
So
business is.
That's it.
But, you know, talking about that, you know, you make your own decisions like this Warren Wireless, okay? This kid came to us. He started talking. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. I brought in people smarter than me.
No.
We vetted it.
Always
we really
best
like
thing,
it.
best thing.
And I really think that, I think there's going to really be a big project. You know, WarrenWireless.net. I thought it was, .com. WarrenWireless.net. All the info's there. I really think there's a need because people are really pissed off at the cable company.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah. Plus,
And
how
I'm
many
pissed-
people are out there that can't afford
Right,
wireless at all?
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so-
I mean,
Gotta
and they
make it
have these
affordable.
smartphones,
Gotta make
and
it
they have to
affordable.
walk to the library
well,
to
that's-
use
Or
them.
the
and-
Avalon Inn.
Or the Avalon Inn, where we have
and I
free
always thought-
wireless.
I always thought that was an anomaly.
You like that, Flav? Pretty good.
Stupid people with smartphones.
Right.
That was always thought that's
It happens.
Gentlemen, I don't want to cut this short because I am going to the All-Star game tonight.
Oh.
Fox said we want you there. We got you seats. We're sending the car for you.
That's
And
fantastic.
so if you watch, you might see my mug on there.
Oh,
I
I'm
don't
going to
know.
watch.
You in the home run derby last night, weren't you?
No,
No.
I didn't go for that.
My
no,
son
no.
was on TV last
No,
night.
but that
I
was
saw
it.
that.
Did
It was
you?
a commercial too, right?
Uh-huh.
That's for T-Mobile, maybe.
T-Mobile.
I saw that.
T-Mobile came to our Little
Well,
League.
tell me what you said. I remember your son.
Mario.
Someone said Mossimo.
T-Mobile
Mario. I knew
came
that. I
to
remember
our Little League in Talmadge
that was great.
and did a commercial with the kids. It was a big surprise. Francisco Lindor showed up. He's
yeah.
the shortstop
What
for
a
the
nice
Indians.
guy, huh?
Super
I
nice.
seen that.
Then
I said
His son's in that.
at the
Oh.
end, they said, "Here's 2 tickets to everybody there: the girls team, the boys team, and the Challenger kids,
Are
the
you gonna be at the
handicap
game
kids."
tonight?
No, we went last night for the home run
Oh,
derby.
home run derby.
So they gave him 2 tickets
won
to
it?
home run derby.
Oh, the
guy
kid,
from the
Alonzo.
Mets. Guy from the Mets.
Oh, man.
It was a crazy
Oh, it
home
was
run
good.
derby. The
Oh, it
place
was.
was packed.
It was.
And we got to sit in the terrace club, the glass
Oh, that's
area.
nice, the
We
restaurant,
sat
yeah.
there. We had a buffet.
That was- oh, yeah.
Half the kids watched and then got to go on the field, which you saw, and then the other half of the kids got to shag all the fly balls and
I
those
saw that.
rocket
Yeah.
line drives.
Oh, they were.
Some of them were our kids.
How about
it was
the Terrace
fantastic.
Club? First time I ever go to Terrace Club, I sit there years ago.
Uh-huh.
I don't have any credit card. I got cash. And they said, we don't take cash. I said, what do you mean you don't take cash? I never heard that
Yeah,
before.
that's right.
I'd have a credit card. Well, lucky a food broker was sitting next to me that knew me and says, hey, just put it on my bill.
Oh, nice.
I never heard that before. Restaurant not taking cash.
You know what? But cash is becoming obsolete pretty soon. My kids don't carry cash. You got to be out of your mind.
He
Say, "Pop,
doesn't either.
I don't carry. I have a little bit.
Look, here's
but not a
why.
lot.
And I'm not trying to be a fatalist. I said, if somebody grabs and tries to roll you, they want cash. You got nothing to get them. That gets you whacked. I'm telling you. I told my kids, you got to have cash. Right? You give them something. You got to have cash with you. Always
You're
gotta be cash.
saying
You gotta be
bring
cash.
cash in case you get robbed. That's what you're
Absolutely.
saying.
Like a mugger's wallet
Cash
in New York.
rich. Cash
New
rich.
York,
You got to be cash
Oh.
rich.
New
You wanna
York,
be
you
cash
carry
rich.
2 wallets. You carry a mugger wallet and a regular
That's
one.
right.
You give them the one with the, you put
Oh,
like
I
40
didn't know
bucks.
that.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
God,
do.
yeah.
See,
that's
that's
an
the
old
street
school
smart.
thing there.
Cash rich, man.
Oh, yeah.
Cash rich. That's
funny.
Either that or you carry Smith & Wesson. You know what I mean?
But hey, I'm going to the game tonight. Like I said, you might see my mug. I don't know if
I hope
I'm gonna be
so.
with Sean Porter. Because we're doing a fight next week for the Thurman Pacquiao fight. But they got my tickets, so I'm going to go up, set the car about that. Me and my wife are going to have a lovely time.
Oh, that's
That's nice.
fantastic.
Sit there and watch an All-Star game.
Fantastic.
And the weather's going to be beautiful.
Oh, yeah. It's supposed to be great.
And
Nothing like California. This is beautiful.
no,
Forget
it is.
California.
No,
It's
no,
hot
no.
out
It's
there.
no humid.
yeah.
The traffic's bad.
bad.
Mud. Earthquake. Were you there for the earthquake?
No,
Try to buy
they
a
got
gallon of
my-
gas in
but
California.
my
Tell me
kids
what you
were.
spent.
My kids were. Well, it was out there. Yeah, they were.
Where were you when the
rock and roll.
earthquake was going on?
The which one? 94.
No, like last
No,
3
no,
days
no,
ago.
I was
Yeah.
at home. And my kids and my ex-wife texted me, "Don't worry, Ram. You know, we're here."
You were in Youngstown, you're
I'm
saying.
in Youngstown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my kids out there for
For the
Tyler's
service.
service.
Yeah.
So the rock and rolling was there, man. So, but I'll be out there, in a couple weeks, and then next fight, August 3rd, we got to have a fight. It'll be the heavyweight. Adrian Warnicki, the Polish kid.
Oh, yeah?
The bald head looks like Baby Huey.
Uh-huh.
Can punch like a son, can fight, man. He can fight his ass off. He's gonna fight Chris Areola. That'll be a war.
Oh,
That'll
see,
be
there you
fight.
go. Finally, a
How are they
heavyweight
going to
fight.
market the bald guy? Maybe
You
baby
can draw on
oil
it.
and
No,
stuff
you
like
can-
that.
you can write a message on there.
What do you say in the ring after? We're having baby. We're having baby. I mean, I love this guy.
Yeah.
And the kid can fight his ass. I'm gonna tell you the
good.
fight. He gets to Areola, which he should. I think him and Andy Ruiz. That would be a slam bam affair that you will be talking about for years to come.
Well, there
And
you
we
go.
got that. We got both fighters.
put it
so
together.
I hope we can make that fight.
I'm glad that Fox, FS1 is
Yeah.
bringing back
Yeah,
boxing
Fox, absolutely.
because
It's on a regular basis.
We were kids,
twice a month. Network television, Fox Network Television. It's the fourth network now. Bringing it back once a month, and we'll have on FS1.
I love it.
And next, like I said, next month we'll have 3 fights on, and do it on pay-per-view. So it's great. Boxing for the next 4 years we'll be doing this.
it was like yesterday. You were at Warren and Mollenkopf Stadium fight.
yeah,
It was like
yeah,
yesterday.
Yeah,
I remember that.
yeah.
How about that?
Beautiful day too, wasn't
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. A
Beautiful
great
weather day.
Thank God.
Hey,
Yeah,
anything else to promote for Sunrise and the 90th? Anything else
it?
coming up that you can think
we
of?
got it. I think we got
No other promotions for Sunrise?
Oh, yes, I will talk to everybody off the air. September, we have a huge promotion to finish off our 90th year.
We're gonna
we
put
have a
a-
4-month promotion.
Put a little bow on it, huh?
Yeah, like we did the $1,929 gift certificate because we started in 1929. This is going to be even cooler. It's
Oh,
going to
cool.
go from September, 5th to the end of the year, and then we go right into the Robbins Theater. We have
great.
a
That's
ton
it.
of shows. Ed O'Neill and Boom
bet-
Boom.
yes.
He's going to get it done.
Stories from the corner.
He got the Jersey
Stories
boys.
from the corner.
He
That's
might
it.
get Ed. You,
You know
never
what?
know.
I would love.
Maybe we could.
I would love to do that series with you because I think
Yeah.
that would be really cool.
I will. I would. And speaker series.
You need
Yeah.
a place to do it.
Oh, we got it.
That's all I'm
1,500
saying.
seats per intimate,
Perfect.
beautiful
Perfect.
dressing rooms.
Classy.
And it's just
Perfect.
spectacular. It really
we're
is.
great.
It's
It'd be
the
great.
plaster work is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
can't wait to
so-
see
Well,
it.
look, hey,
Ken, thanks for
keep
coming.
stay with
Oh,
us.
thank you, Michael.
Stay
You're
with
wonderful,
us,
buddy.
Ken. I
Boom,
appreciate
thank
your
you.
time, brother.
Thank you.
Stay-
You can have some pizza after?
Well, oh, that's a done deal.
Take one in a car. Put
Take
it in a
one with
limo.
you. That'll be in a limo. That'll be our food. There we go. And stay with us. I hope you enjoy the shows. Keep listening because we got more things coming up, more upcoming events that we're gonna do. We're gonna be the show. I mean, we're gonna do a lot of good things on the show. And,
It's great. It's really
a lot of
great.
fun. A lot of people seem to be enjoying it. If you have any comments, please email us, text us, whatever. Let us know what your thoughts are because we want to know. And
Like
if
us on
it's-
Facebook.
If it's anything disparaging, we don't give a shit. No, but no, we want that.
A little bit.
We want
you.
They
we want
give
all.
a shit.
Good, bad, and different. We want it all.
We're too old
Well,
to change.
yeah,
They care. We
But, hey,
don't.
thank
Well,
you
you're
for
the youngest,
listening.
aren't you?
Thank
Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
But
Thank
not
you
much.
for your time. If you got time, we'll be back next week for another round of Ray's Boom Boom Room. But until then, take care of each other, love each other. Good night and God bless.
And tonight, have a glass of Boom Boom's bourbon.
There you go.
And
Or Southpaw wine.